Hey folks, Dave here. Well, it's that time of year again. Yep, it's time for another channel update. I'm not going to shake things up as drastically as perhaps last year I did. I'm not going to start doing Let's Plays again, but it's kind of in the same vein. I think it is finally time to retire Dave's impressions. I don't know, over this year, I've been increasingly dissatisfied with that series as a whole. I think, I don't know, maybe the formula that I used to write them has gotten too bland. They take up too much time that I should be using focusing on the critiques, which are kind of the best things I do on this channel. And, they just don't get that much of a response. I'm very grateful for the comments and views they do get, but when compared to other videos on my channel, it's night and day, except for, a few, what's the word? There are a few impressions videos that do get a lot of views compared to other stuff on my channel, but for the most part, it's a little disheartening sometimes when I look at my analytics a day or so after. I'm like, really? Only that? Boo. And I know I shouldn't get swept up in that, but I'm human. It happens. So, the thing is, I still love the idea of impressions. Like, I love the idea. I started it because, I have, I have this massive backlog. I've always had this massive backlog. And, since I started this, I have an even larger backlog. But I love the idea of, playing a small amount of a game to see if it's interesting enough for me to want to go through it in its entirety and then write a critique on it, which, is what I've been doing. But maybe the time that I use to make these videos, short as they may be, could be better used on my critiques. For example, the one I'm working on right now, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which, if the glare isn't too bad in this video, you will see playing on the screen behind me. I would say that the critique of that game is probably going to take another month at the least. I'm about 40 hours into it, and I think I'm maybe halfway through. It feels like I'm reaching the midpoint of Act 2. Now, the game doesn't have any official acts, but the way it's broken up, it feels that way. So, yeah, I definitely like to take the time I spend on impressions and use that to play through more of the game, especially because I want to do the DLC as well. I want to get the whole game under me before I start researching and writing it, the fun part, of course. Then hopefully, with that time, I can start ideally hitting a 1-a-month deadline, or, even sooner if they're smaller games that don't require that much time. But I still like impressions. I still want to be playing all the games I've accumulated for this channel, or just because I want to play them. Because that's the thing, isn't it? I don't do this just because I like critiquing. I do this because I like playing games. I want to discover new experiences that excite and delight me, or just interesting enough that make me go, damn, I really want to talk about that. So what I'm thinking is a series called Dave Recommends. A bit more positive. Basically, I'll continue to do kind of what I'm doing. I'm going to spend my evenings, I'm going to start playing these games for impressions, but in my own time, just for the joy of it, really. But I'm still going to play it for the impressions time. And if at the end of that impressions time, the game's interesting enough that I want to make a critique on it, I think then I should make a video on it, singing its praises and why you should check it out, or why you might like to check it out. And with that, hopefully, that does free up more time just for the critiques. Although, now that I've said that, now that it's out there, watch every game I play for like the next 3 to 4 months be interesting enough that I end up making videos on all of them and we're back to where we started. But I consider that a good thing because it means I'm playing stuff that excites me, which means I'm more energetic and positive about the channel. Because so sometimes when I'm making a video on a game that's not really doing it for me, the spark just isn't there. And I think you always know when that's the case. It's not always when I say I don't recommend a game either, so that's not it. But it's just, I don't know. I need a shakeup, and thinking about this for the last couple weeks, this is the solution I've come up with. Now, does this mean like the Let's Plays last year that after 3 months of trying this, I might go, nope, we're going back to the way things were? Could be. It could be. But for now, we're going to try this. So updates will be a lot more sparse on the channel. I'm no longer updating every Friday. Basically, if I create a Dave Recommends video, it will show up basically, I think, the day after I create it, depending on what time I finish rendering and uploading the video. And since The Witcher 3 video is probably at least another month off, and that's a very liberal estimate. Oh. Pardon me, folks. Apple just decided to go, you need to update something in the middle of recording. Technology. So what was I saying? I was saying that, yes, because the next critique is going to be a while and I might not have a regular video on the channel for a while, I thought in the meantime, I should do another one of the Q&As. I did, I think it was December. I did the first and last one. So yes, if you have any questions you would like me to answer in a Q&A format, please let them know in the comments. If you have any queries or comments on this new change to the channel, please let me know below. And, well, enjoy the final episode of Dave's Impressions on Friday. It's rendered, it's uploaded, it's scheduled. I think for the final Dave's Impressions, it's a pretty good video. So I hope you enjoy that. And we'll see you around. Bye, folks.